everything in this home. Being a very good friend of the late Ong'ondo Were, and stepped into the gap to be an additional mother to this family as they mourn the late Ong'ondo Were. We recognize the role he played in the loss of Were. So, Honorable Speaker, that Wednesday, you remember you handed over the seat to me. I saw Were, but he left a short while after.
Yes.
And what happened thereafter is known to all of us. I wanted to thank you because immediately the House adjourned when you got the news. In fact, as I returned the mails to your office as Speaker, I found your note asking whether what you are hearing was true. And Honorable Speaker, I drove, as I told you, straight to Nairobi Hospital. Just as I was entering, you called again to confirm. And Honorable Speaker, I told you that it is not about shooting, but that your late member, Honorable Were, that you succumbed. I know the several calls you made asking about the other issues, but it touched me, Honorable Speaker, when you called me at dawn on that day, asking me to run to the home of Were and confirm that the family indeed was able to stand. I came as you directed, and Honorable Speaker, thereafter you communicated that I lead the team that will do these preparations. I want to thank you, Honorable Speaker, for constituting that team. That team had, you put in Honorable Kaunya, among several other MPs. Honorable Speaker, I can confirm to you they have done a very good job so far. The time is very short because it was determined that we are laying our brother to rest on 9th of May. I want to thank the team for the work they have done. Honorable Kaunya, we said would lead us because of his line, and this being a matter involving a bit of investigations, together with the Honorable Dr. James Nyikal in the postmortem, and they did a very good work. They have reported to you, Honorable Speaker. There are various other teams doing various other things, including resource mobilization. Let me, Honorable Speaker, thank you for that heart. I've seen you show to our members, not just when they are bereaved, but when they have any issue. And even for coming to be with the family against what I know you are supposed to be dealing with now, to just say your word, it gives them a lot of strength, which is now there. And I thank you. I would request you continue in the way you've been continuing. For all of us, when we find ourselves, or our families find themselves in such situations. Honorable Speaker, the arrangements are that tomorrow we will go for the Requiem Mass, and then we will transport the Honorable Were home, and then on Friday, which will be 9th May, we will inter the body. We would still request that you walk with your member that journey to the end. Let me thank you as I give you the mic in a very special way for the support Parliament has given under your directions. So the MP for the area is Honorable Tongoyo. He's come in when we were speaking. No, is the MP. This is Ololua. Is Ngongoyo. He's the MP for this area. Okay, I want them to fight, the two of them, over their territories. Yeah, so Honorable Speaker, we have done so much. I just want to end by thanking you for the support you've given. And I think the family has also registered their gratitude. When we came here, it's very chaotic when the leader dies. Yeah, so it was very difficult for them. I want to thank you. You immediately sent your sergeants to Parliament, to the home here and the rural home. They have interacted with the police station here and the police station at home very well. You immediately sent a clerical team to support with the systems Kato and others have done a very good work, Naserian and others. They're now part of this family, essentially.
They were there from the night.
From the very night. And they have been changing times, a big number of them. Honorable Speaker, one thing that under your directions has happened is that even the cooking, the service here, is the catering of your parliament under your directions. So we thank you very much for the support you've been given. Of course, we continue to urge that being children of parliament, being widows of parliament, parliament continues to be their home. Honorable Speaker, with those very many words,
you and the family for losing your patriarch, your loved one, your husband, your father, and your friend. I have known Charles for a fairly good amount of time. We knew each other in 2013 when we were campaigning around the country as Code family that time. He was always the one receiving us every time we went to Meru, accommodating us and arranging for our rallies. And since then, we became very good friends. When he joined Parliament in 2017, he looked me out and said, Senator, I'm now part of this family of Parliament. And we've continued being very close. We go to the gym with Meli, Jalango once in a while, and a few others, and Moses here. We always meet in the gym regularly. And he would sit after his workout, he would take his juice, and from time to time he would call you and engage you in very good discussions. I always remember him telling me over and over, after we parted ways with the Prime Minister in 2022, he said, "Hata tukitengana sisi ni family." That was always his advice. And he always comes to my office. When he finds other people waiting, he goes away and sends me a message and says, "When you are free, tell me to come back." And he will never come there with trivia. He wants me to help him to do something in his constituency. He wants me to call the Inspector General of Police to promote or to help somebody. He wants me to speak to the Minister for Education to help transfer some teacher. Always pro-constituent issues. On the fateful day, I saw Charles in Parliament. He normally sits at the back with Mishimbogo and the member for Kisauni. They always sit together. He came in, he went out, he came in again. And by the time I left the chamber, it was about about six. He was still there. I went to the chamber, to the office, did some work. When I was leaving at about 7:15, 7:30, I met Rosa. "You are with Millie?" "You are with Beatrice Elachi," at the entrance to the house. And Rosa called me aside and said, "We have unconfirmed information that Charles Were has been shot by unknown people." I told them, get into the car and run to wherever it has happened, and please call me. I'm going to another meeting in Karen. Before I got to Oleseren turning off the expressway, Rosa called me and said, bad news, Speaker, he has not pulled through. It was very devastating. After our call, I called the IG, asked him if he knew. He said he had received information and his men were on the ground. I called the president, informed him. And from there on, you have said what has been going on. As the family of Parliament, we have lost one too many of our members this term. We lost the member for Banisa. We lost the senator for Baringo. We've now lost Charles. We lost member for Malava, Maloli Njendi. And every time we lose, we come together as a family to support the family of our departed colleague. I had an opportunity to know your county inside out. In my earlier years, I was a magistrate in Rongo, and we used to go to Homa Bay every other weekend because it was the only close enough town. You could either go to Kisii or go to Homa Bay, and since we had no cars, you had to jump onto a matatu, and Homa Bay was easier to go to. When my friend and professional colleague, the late Otieno Kajwang, died, we came to Homa Bay and stayed there with my brother Raila Odinga for 1 full month, campaigning for this young man. There's no village we didn't go. And people were warm and welcoming. And when eventually Charles became a member of Parliament, a constituency that I think used to be held at one time by Otieno Kopio, isn't it? Yes. I told him, we have been to your constituency. There is a priest from Oyugis called Moses Ocheng Ware. You know him?
Yes, yes.
He's my very close friend. You know that he's a Catholic priest. He's now working in the army. He had invited me to come to a Catholic church in Oyugis, and we had agreed to be there in June. And I had called Honorable Were and told him, I'll be coming to your area. He said, we'll be there together. Last week, Honorable Charles came to my office and said, in August, when we go to Rome to see the Pope, ensure I am in the delegation. I called Alice, who runs our caucus, and told her, even if I go with only one member, it will be Charles Were. Last time we went with Polo here and others. So that is how close Charles was to all of us. As a family, you have lost. Don't pay any attention to the filth and nonsense on social media. Kenyans have become very callous. Kenyans have become very heartless. Kenyans have become people who is difficult to describe. Pay attention to your family. Will all come and people will make very big speeches. When they finish, they will leave. And that's when it will dawn upon you that now you must sit together as one. As friends will be there. I've heard what your children have said. Knock on my door anytime, my sons. Whatever I can do, I will. Whatever I can't, I'll tell you I can't. So that we can be able to help you realize the dream of your father. So as Parliament, we say, Pole sana. We will definitely be at home on Friday. Moses, you'll be there to welcome us so that we can be able to give our friend, our brother, a dignified send-off. I beg you, don't make it a political rally. Let it be a funeral so that we can be able to mourn our friend with the dignity that he deserves. I know there are all those contradictions in life, but we will be coming as a family of Parliament. And I urge you all members to join us. As Parliament, we try to do what we can, and everything that we're doing is to help the family at least feel appreciated that you donated your husband, your father to us in Parliament, and he has also made a difference in the lives of others. So we'll be responsible for things like mortuary fees, we'll be responsible for buying the coffin, we'll be responsible for transporting the body up to the final resting place, and we'll be also able to help the family to lift you up to whether it's Kisumu or Homa Bay Airport for you to get home in preparation for the Friday event. As I finish, members of Parliament, our friend has died in very tragic circumstances to hands of criminals. Because anybody who can pull a trigger on another is nothing but a criminal. One, I encourage all of us, whoever has any information that can help, and as an institution of Parliament, we'll play our part to see that any contribution we can make to bring those criminals to book, we will. Number two, I encourage all of you members, what has happened to Ong'ondo Were can happen to any one of you. So tighten your security, be conscious of your security, don't fear to live, don't live in fear. But be careful as you go around, because there are people, you know, as members of Parliament, very few people like you. For strange reasons, people who want to come to Parliament don't like people who are in Parliament. And all the time you find somebody is campaigning against you, but is uttering a lot of filth about the House of Parliament and parliamentarians. But that shouldn't deter you from working to make Kenya safer, to make Kenya greater, to make Kenya prosperous, and above all, to make sure that Kenyans, wherever they are, in whatever station in life, are safe. Safety is key to everybody. So, Mama, both of you, we thank you for looking after our brother in his life. And we thank you for being there, bring up these wonderful children in the manner that Charles would have done. And where you need help, like I've said, you already have Kina Hillary, Moses here, Rosa there, who can bring whatever needs you have to us. Lastly, honorable members, I have some issues to discuss with the family. I don't know if for members of Parliament, there's no secret because this can happen to any one of you. May I request that everybody else leaves us so that I can talk to the family. Leaving means going out.
Yeah.